Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching The Witcher Season 3, Episode 2, Unbound. I adored the first episode. I am sad this split up, but I am excited and scared to see where it goes next. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go! Oh, Lord. Siri.
Wishing you safe journey.
Ooh. Okay. How are these things connected?
Cannot control my vision, Jennifer.
You can control who you blab them to.
Stop calling me like I'm a mewling brat.
That man's gonna die.
His death, and I need to go back there.
What if his death prevented a greater harm? What would the
It
consequences
is true,
be?
we don't know the wider sense of it all.
How did I know that would be you?
This guy.
Hello, Conringer.
Hello.
Now this will help get you what you deserve.
What does he deserve?
You had them fixed. The only way that I could reclaim my throne was to infiltrate the castle. Kill
Why was it
everyone
reclaiming his
between
throne?
me
I'm
and
so
the man who's
intrigued.
stolen my life.
A brave endeavor.
Or was he never actually called Denny or whatever?
I mean, a foolish one.
One day, war will be a thing of the past. It
Sure,
will be a distant memory.
that's why you're waging so much of it.
I will have my queen by my side, and the races of our world, they will live in peace.
Your
You
queen?
will make...
God, being in prison is not going to bring back good memories for her.
Yes, dear. This is a treat.
Oh, I can assure you.
Yes, these people did help people track down Ciri.
Entirely mine.
This mage, whoever it is very dangerous.
Yes, and he's after the most precious thing in Geralt's universe.
Carol.
Do give our best to the elder blood princess.
Yes. You've been spreading that around. I mean, only to Istrid, but...
You want to save her? You need to find another girl. An orphan of war, perhaps. Ashen hair, green eyes.
No. Geralt, my friend, a time of contempt is approaching.
Yes, the time of contempt is actually nigh, I think you'll find.
Maybe we could find somewhere safe for her?
Oh,
Why don't we brainstorm solutions on our way to Redania? Hey,
he's hoping to get them
I
to
hear you thinking. Don't
want to go
playing
to
me.
Redania.
I travel alone.
Good to say her. Telling her I'm coming home. Is there a chance she might say no? It's complicated.
It is.
Because of me?
Because she freed...
Yes, you do tend to complicate things.
Oh, yes, does Ciri have any idea that she helped Frika here? You know, the guy that haunts her nightmares. Yeah, I hadn't forgotten, but I'd forgotten, if that makes sense. Obviously, we were going back to Aretusa, how Yennefer left things with them. Not great.
After that legendary night of non-fatal execution.
Well, I'm hoping I've forgotten about that.
I don't think they
Forgive me,
have.
anyway.
Need a Paul to Claremont.
What for?
Because this one's got something waiting for them.
Kill this man. We need to save him. Her visions are all tangled up with her past and...
I won't be long.
Run, run!
Hey! What the fuck?
Brave girl. I mean, that man was a bastard.
Give her weight.
I still support what we did just then. 1,000 times. There are probably sneakier ways to go about it.
This requires two things.
Well, she's training people now.
Even if Henselt wanted to send the grain to Temeria, the damn Scoia'tael would just steal it on the way. We're wondering why
I don't trust the majority of these people.
That's because we...
That's a short-sighted view of
What
it.
is this man up to?
Last I checked, slinging matches are not how we conduct business here. We will take all concerns to the full body of the council, as we always
Just-
have.
Cyrilla's on her way.
You are disrupting lessons.
Thank God she's delayed.
But I can't help but wonder if it's really about them.
If it's safe here.
Just because you couldn't help Ciri.
I will go and check on Nissa.
You kind of help put Ciri to the frying pan. I know what I'm talking about. By telling to say it. Oh dear.
Louder!
These two are very interesting.
They know who Rience is working for.
Trivia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tell me.
Geralt is determined to solve it.
Jaskier, what are you
He
doing?
didn't have enough money. And
Pick your favorite. Please.
Jaskier, what are you doing?
I'd love a song about your white-haired witcher. All right.
Just give me a new song, because I am here for a new song. Just in general, Jaskier, what are you doing? I'm really glad you're doing this alone, Geralt. Oh goody, that sounds really, really great.
One day I may be queen, and I'll need to use what I've got. And what I've got is a sense of justice, a dagger, and quick reflexes.
I'm with
and
you,
Geralt
Siri.
taught me those things.
Will the townspeople who do survive will be conscripted to fight against the war that's looming on the horizon, where they'll die on the battlefield. If disease
We
or
need to
starvation
talk
doesn't
about
claim
more
them
of this
first,
with Siri, so she knows more about
saved
the
one,
wider
and the consequences
situation.
likely damned 100 others in exchange.
What is the point in me seeing the future if I can't do anything to change it?
We need to have more lessons like this.
Snap your fingers, mountains move. Then bend to your will. How would you know what it's like to fight for control of your life?
These are things you could talk to her about, my love. What is... Did he get thrown out? Oh, is he dreaming?
Nilfgaardian scum.
Lovely. Has he ever seen her looking like that?
Get up.
How on earth is he here? And how is he an old friend?
Thanks for the save.
Not who I thought he was going for. And how is Cahir not in prison? Fringilla is.
Francesca Speltron. Fact is, Francesca Seneca is a girl from Sintra.
He's like,
Sintra?
Mia obsessed with that too.
My own eyes. Apparently the princess is a savior of elvenkind. You were Mir's top general. Now he sent you to raid caravans on the ass end of the battle.
Okay, so he was demoted.
Holy shit.
Great. Fringilla is scheming a way out of here.
Oh, come on. One more, please.
Yes, please. For us.
It is paying no heed to what others say to sing.
It's gonna hit the prince hard.
I am in
I love you.
And what's that?
You see people for what they are, not what they pretend to be. Well, that's part of it, at least. Does the Witcher know how lucky he is to have you?
He does. He may not always say it, but he does, and he's still fighting monsters. Someone's coming, there are footsteps. Oh no, thank you. Jesus. This is a trap, Geralt. Do not put your sword down, it's a trap.
any more like you here.
So many.
Oh god.
More and more.
Is he taking all girls that vaguely resemble Ciri?
He comes for us.
Jesus. This is lovely. Ooh. Dead body parts. Jesus. It's a mercy. Come on, Geralt. This is extraordinarily messed up, but you can do this.
Well, that wine just makes it heavier.
Yes, that's the problem. Step 1 complete, Fringilla. Make better choices going forwards, please.
He seems to think those old farts, Codringer and Fenn, might have some info about Rience.
And?
Oh, it's not going to end well for
I'm
them.
wondering if perhaps our methods of...
This, hold still, I say.
Oh God!
Applegat, you bring.
Well, that's the guy that is due a neck bolt.
Casimir has no secrets from me.
And you do know about his meeting last night?
Ooh.
With Nilfgaard.
Dear. I don't think this is going to be a pleasant meeting.
Heard you had a visitor. We have lots.
Oh
You
God.
know who I mean? The Witcher was here. I could still smell his stench.
Maybe the owl could help.
Oh, what he's really got planned for Cyrilla of City.
Jesus.
What do you know about his plans?
What is his plan? It doesn't seem good.
Please, not the cat.
Tell me everything.
Fuck. Well, the owl saw that and followed him through the portal. I'm just really sad that those people are dead. Is Jaskier gonna think it was Redania? And what's this bitch secretly up to? The recap for the whole season showed him killing the guy who was begging on his own side, begging him for mercy. So that makes me hopeful that this season we're gonna find out what Vilgefort's up to, because I spent all of last season like, this man is done. Like, what is he?
You had the council with me.
Is playing you.
How do you feel?
I love.
Don't trust this man. No, he says all the right words. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. Like, if anything, we should be arranging to meet Teseo in a secret place. It's not Aretusa.
Superstition.
Or is it a tracking stone of some kind? I don't trust anything this man gives. He's given her that gift. It's either going to blow up or track her. Or control her. It's gone.
Get out of there, girl.
I can do it! How much for a pig?
It's her truth.
My whole life I've had so much power. I've wanted to do things my way.
Yep. This is
That
how you
letter?
bond with people. You tell them the whole truth.
I don't know if I'll be welcome back to Aretusa together.
Together, yes.
Come along.
I'm worried that this girl isn't what she seems. Like, she's actually the mage that's behind it all, or, you know, like a creature of some kind, that she's not truly a helpless girl that needed help.
Because you always do. We're tied by destiny.
Okay.
Who are you?
Don't be silly, Geralt. You know who I am. I'm Ciri.
What has been done to this girl? So, either that girl has been, like, brainwashed, mind altered to truly believe she is Ciri, by magic, by other means, or she is part of some wider... I mean, regardless, she's part of some wider thing to get to Geralt, surely. But are they planning on simply... I suppose if you can convince a girl she is Ciri, you could use her for your own political aims. Like, you know, basically no one who's alive is going to have a clear image of what Ciri looks like, and anyone that... It would only be servants, maybe, who survived. So all you have to do is say, this girl is Ciri and I've just married her, therefore I have a claim to Sintra, or whatever, like, political shenanigans that they want her for. Obviously, if you want a girl that has elder blood and all that sort of stuff, you need the actual Ciri, but if you're just in it for the, like, royal blood, then just get a girl that looks enough like her to fit the description and claim it's her and marry her. Poor thing. That girl could just entirely be a monster, a trap for Geralt, who knows, but oof, I just can't wait to see what is going on with that. Because it, like I said, it could be that she truly believes what she's saying, she could be in on it, she could be the sorcerer, she could be a creature, she could have been brainwashed. There are 1,000 different alternatives. Perhaps my favourite part of this episode was Yennefer letting Ciri in, letting her see the dark, ugly parts of her past, the treatment she went under, the way she used to live, and how she used to see herself, and how much of her, for so long, was done out of this sense of insecurity. Like a huge part of why she did what she did last season was because of how the last time when she lived without magic, just how low and awful she felt, and how she felt as though she was reverting back to that person. I think if she lost her magic today, she would not think that anymore, but that was not where her head was at. I think it's going to really help Ciri understand Yennefer going forwards as more than just this amazing, awesome woman that Geralt's in love with, who betrayed us one time, but ultimately is helping us and who I really care for and love now. But like, she's just this epic, powerful, beautiful woman who can do no wrong, and to kind of realize that she has had a very hard life. Two, that she has known struggles and that she understands what it's like to be in Ciri's shoes. Obviously very not in the exact same position, but she understands a lot of what Ciri is going through and having to make these kind of decisions and what the possible repercussions could be of those decisions. Though I don't disagree with what Ciri did. Maybe I do if you then find out that like 100 people are going to suffer because one was saved. But ultimately, I still think with the knowledge she had, she made the right choice. It is just maybe a sign that you need to think about wider consequences and get more information. There could have been potentially a sneakier way of doing something that could have helped the kid. I don't know what that was. But yeah, it wasn't the best thought through plan. And if hundreds of people are going to suffer to save one, I do understand why you would potentially not want to do that. But in the moment, I was supporting Ciri, and I'm very glad that she saved that kid. It's all a lot more complicated. In general, the whole like Yennefer freeing Cahir, I never fully understood her motivations behind. I think it was partly just chaos to help her escape. Like her just running off made total sense to me. Her saving Cahir, like I love that she was like, I saved a prisoner, Ciri. Definitely not the man that led the armies into your home, that led the armies to murder everyone you loved, that tried to drag you away on a horse and that you still have nightmares about. Definitely not that man. That's not the man I saved. It was interesting to then sort of flip side things to see Cahir. Obviously, okay, various things. It's interesting to see the different punishment for a mage versus just a human, also versus a man versus a woman, that Cahir was still being used fighting in his armies and he was still doing it. He didn't run away. And that he had a vision of Ciri where he saw Ciri saying, you deserve this. And perhaps what was most interesting was that it was Ciri as she is now, not Ciri as she was then. It would have made more sense to me if you saw a little girl in a blue cloak, and even if they wanted to actually make it happen with filming with Freya, she wouldn't look quite as young, but like, she looked Ciri, who lived in the castle, I guess she dressed like that when she went running around the streets. She would dress more like that. But he never saw Ciri in that outfit. And you would never, I suppose you would, if you knew she was running around with a witch, and you might imagine she's not wearing fine dresses. But it was just interesting to me that he kind of saw her accurately for how she is now and not for how she's in his head. That suggests there is mystical, magical voodoo going on around everything. Obviously, if they were to ever meet up with him again, there's Yennefer, and he did work together quite a lot. You know, they only really stopped working together because she wanted to help Jaskier. It was very much we both get something out of this, but I think there was some kind of a companionship built up through those scenes. Then you obviously have what is the significance of the fact that when the soldier was calling him a Nilfgaardian scum and trying to kill him and saying you deserve this or whatever, that he saw Ciri saying you deserve this. Does he regret what he did? He doesn't seem to regret following the Emir, following old Ciri's dad, so that would suggest that he doesn't regret what he did, but he maybe regrets how he handled it. So I'm just very intrigued with if they were to come up against him, what would the consequences be? I assume he would still be thinking, must snatch Ciri. If I give her to my master, he'll say good boy and love me again. But it's just very interesting to see that his loyalty does not seem to have wavered. Then we have Fringilla, who was obviously being treated very poorly as well. I mean, just constantly drunk, being made to test wine in case it's, I mean, the whole concept of being a food tester or whatever, to test for poison, is so horrific, isn't it? Like, your life is worth less than the person you're testing for. Now, once upon a time, she was very loyal to him, to the White Flame. She got a taste of power for herself last season, but we still don't know whether she's completely broken off loyalty towards the White Flame, or whether, because they lied about the baby more out of a like trying to big themselves up in his eyes rather than trying to like deceive him because they wanted to overthrow him or anything. Last season I didn't get the impression that they were like, we want to topple him. I think maybe it crossed Fringilla's mind that she could do a better job. And obviously they failed to find Ciri because Ciri is just running loose around the place, doing whatever she feels like. So I'm intrigued to see whether is Fringilla going to storm back into Cahir's castle and be like, you thought you could do that to me? Is she going to go back to Aretusa and be like, bitches, I'm back? Or is she going to just forge her own path? I've been disappointed with a lot of the choices Fringilla has made, but I'm very intrigued to see where she goes next as a character. I feel like there are so many interesting paths she could take. Then we have Redania, and it's seeming more and more like Jaskier is just doing his own thing, that he thinks he's helping. I think he looks at the position they're in, and realistically, they're in a very shit position, constantly on the run, fighting off anybody who comes looking for Ciri, and everybody and everyone is coming looking for Ciri. They can't settle any one place for long because somebody else finds out that they're there and comes after them. Every single kingdom in the continent is searching for them, along with some people that don't currently have kingdoms. It isn't a safe place to be for Geralt, for Yennefer, for Ciri. And I do believe Jaskier cares deeply about all of them. And I think he's motivated more about hoping that they would be safe than he is helping himself or saving himself. I don't think it's him being like a coward, like, oh, they're threatening to kill me if I don't tell them where Ciri is or whatever. He's also sort of made the deal of like, you get rid of the fire guy, and then they might trust you. Like the prince was like, what if you go with the carrot and not the stick? Now, an interesting thing is going to be when he finds out the shop was burnt down, and I presume that those two scholarly souls were killed. Is he going to assume it was the Redanians because of what he said, or is he going to assume rightfully that it was the fire guy and that it was just because they knew too much? It's just interesting to me. Like, he could certainly look at that as just, fuck, Redania can't be trusted, or he could be like, oh, fair enough, the fire guy got there first, clearly they did know something. And we know the owl followed fire guy through, so she is also with him. Geralt is with a girl who thinks she's Ciri. He was going looking for fire guy and for whoever worked for him. It's just so interesting. There are so many different facets to this, and I really cannot pinpoint where this story is going in any way, shape or form. And like Jaskier, I don't blame him for doing what he's doing. I still hold out some kind of hope that it's part of some greater scheme that Geralt is in on. But even if it isn't, I'm kind of gonna be like, what are you doing, Jaskier? You're making bad decisions. But I think he's making them for the right reasons. Like, he thinks he's doing the right thing. Hopefully it's part of a wider plan, though. I am so stressed that they are heading to Aretusa. I am glad Saya is going to go and meet them first, but I also do not see Vilgefortz or anyone else that knows about this meeting not trying to be there or have spies there. We know Vilgefortz is up to something. We know he's up to his own no good. I do not know what that thing is. We know that in the battle he turns on people that were on his side. Is he loyal to the White Flame? Is he loyal to his own thing? We still don't know. I'm hopeful we're going to find out more this season. It breaks my heart every time Tissaia trusts him because he's not trustworthy. I do not trust what the necklace or bracelet or whatever he gave her. Potentially that could be used to like spy, to like listen in on the conversation. It could also be used to do a number of things. Now, what is Tissaia going to do when she turns up to see Yennefer and Yennefer's like, hi, I've come back because I want you to help train my daughter, the Princess of Cintra that you're currently searching for, and that if you could produce would make all of the Northern Kingdoms high-five you and say you're the greatest. It's going to be very stressful and interesting. Obviously, Yennefer doesn't know. She knows that she mucked things up with the whole freeing Cahir and everything, but she doesn't know the scale of the promise that Saya made, that we were going to hunt down Ciri and they were all going to have her, and that, you know, then that other girl or the other queen being like, you know, this princess would be a lot better off dead, and all of that kind of thing. You know, we don't know. None of that is known to our characters. They obviously know that a lot of different people and kingdoms are coming after them, but they do not know Aretusa's role in that. Now, we know for a fact that Stregobor does not like girls with big powers. He likes to kill them. Vilgefortz, I feel like, is going to do whatever the frick he wants. He's got his own ulterior motives. And it was that moment when they were like, we should just find her and kill her. And then Triss was like, no, we shouldn't do that. Triss is an interesting one as well, because obviously she's at Aretusa because she is... I think it is what Tissaia said. She feels like she failed Ciri, because when Ciri needed her most, she freaked out and said, stay away from me, don't come near me, and then she literally never saw Ciri again. Now, I don't entirely blame her for freaking out, because it was a lot of an overload of just, oh my god, this girl could destroy everything. It's like a nuclear bomb saying, Sasaya, are you okay? Oh, not Sasaya. Triss, are you okay? Like, you're gonna freak out. But she didn't handle it very well. She didn't help Ciri when she needed her. And she's potentially still a little bit scared of Ciri. But thankfully we saw the outburst when they suggested killing her, of no, you can't do that. Showed that she very much is not like, yeah, we got to kill that girl, she's too dangerous. Definitely Aretusa is as undivided as ever. As divided as ever even. But I'm just very worried about them going there. I feel like ultimately between them, Yennefer and Ciri would be able to get themselves out of a pickle if they got into one, but going to a place full of powerful mages does not fill me with confidence, especially when we know a significant number of them either want to kill Ciri or use her for their own personal gain, as pretty much everyone in this continent does. Fantastic episode. I'm sorry if I've missed talking about something. So much happens that I try and like systematically go through each major plotline, and sometimes when I'm like editing or afterwards I think, damn it, I didn't talk about X, but I can't think of anything right now. A reminder that if you're watching this on YouTube, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.